Hey, what's up, YouTube? Red and Bordy here, back with another episode of Mo to Go. This one's a little bit special. I guess we've done episodes like this in the past, but we're focusing in on one game today, and that is Mortal Online 2. Bordy, tell them about Mortal Online 2.
Yeah, man. So this one is kind of close to me, a little bit near and dear to my heart. This game, I played a lot of the first Mortal Online, and so I'm happy that we're covering it here on the show because I think Mortal Online 2 has a lot of potential. So for those of you that don't know what Mortal Online is, I'm just going to go ahead and read the description off of their website to give you an idea of what this game is, and then we'll kind of get into the rest of the video. So Mortal Online 2 is a next-generation first-person sandbox MMORPG set in a fantasy world. In Mortal Online 2, players are never truly free from danger. There are no specific PvP or safe zones, only an open, realistic world where you are free to choose your own path. Experience true real-time combat where outcomes are decided by skill rather than levels or gear. You can build your own house, create a guild, construct a keep, and forge an empire. And with enough power, violence, or diplomacy, I like that part, you and your allies may rule an entire nation, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Mortal Online caters to players of all shapes, sizes, and playstyles. You can become a legendary crafter whose goods are traded across the globe. Study the art of combat and become a famous warrior. Explore areas never before seen by other players. This is a world where your individual reputation is everything. No matter your path you decide to take, people will recognize you by the impact you've made on the world. So that's the description straight off of their website. It is most definitely a sandbox MMO, a very hardcore full loot PvP MMO, and I like it. I really enjoyed the first one, man.
Yeah, so obviously, I think a lot of people will relate the combat or the gameplay to like a Skyrim feel. It has that, that first person point of view. So one of the things I think that are that Mortal Online 2 or Mortal Online, maybe the series hangs their hat on is a in-depth crafting system. So what was your experience with the first Mortal Online, and what do you expect from Mortal Online 2 as far as crafting goes?
Yeah, so I do think that is one of the staples of the game. There's a lot of other things that set this MMO apart from other MMOs on the market. Wow, I stuttered, sorry. But their crafting system, it is a very in-depth and huge crafting system. I've never seen anything like it in another MMO. It definitely does not hold your hand. You can use tons of ingredients to make different kinds of recipes and weapons and armor, and there's all types of different variations that you can put to get combinations that you can put together to make your armor stronger, to make your weapon stronger, and it's kind of hard to figure those things out. And so if you are a crafter, you would absolutely love just sitting and crafting in the game, which is something that you can absolutely do, by the way. You can just go to town and craft, and you don't really have to go participate in PvP if you don't really want to, and people would love that. The crafting is amazing. So it is simple the way you do it, but it is very in-depth and complicated. So here on their website, it also says that thousands of materials can be used, sometimes with billions of possible combinations. I'm not sure about billions, but I would venture to say there are probably millions of combinations. Maybe there are billions because there's a ton. So what works may sometimes be a question of skill and testing, and sometimes common sense. You can craft a suit of armor out of lead, but are you sure you would want to wear it? So that type of stuff you can do. You can craft using certain materials, but it may not work out how you think it's going to work out. It might suck. So it's very interesting the way it works, man. And it also requires knowledge of appropriate lores. So there's like books you have to go read to get the knowledge to increase your crafting, which is pretty cool. I thought that was a pretty neat aspect of it. So there is alchemy, armor crafting, bowyery. Is that right? Bowyery? Bowery? Is it just Bowery? There's a Y in there.
You're
Bowery,
asking the wrong guy.
Yeah, what am I doing? Cooking, engineering, extracting, shield crafting, weapon crafting, necromancy. And then one thing that's pretty important about their crafting system here too is that this entire game is skill based. So you only have a set amount of skills to allocate to your character, or skill points rather. So I want to say it was 1,300 in the first one. I can't remember the exact numbers, like 12 or 1,300. And then a skill caps out at 100. There are way more than 13 skills in the game. There's so many. So you have to be careful what you put your skills into. But so right here at 50 skill and 50 lore, you can repair items at full effectiveness. So you may not want to go all the way to 100 with a skill. You can still be useful at 50. Then at 70 skill and 70 lore, you can make an item that is fully perfect in every way except for durability. And then beyond 70, your durability continues to improve. But once you get to 100 in a crafting skill, you can then sign your name on a product, and you have a chance to craft the legendary items that visually look better than if a lesser skilled crafter made them, which I think is dope, dude. You have a chance to make some really cool looking stuff if your skill is higher. I love that. So there's crafting in this game. Yes, it's in depth. It's crazy. The first one was awesome, and I wouldn't expect anything less from the second one. It looks really good. Sounds very promising.
Now, I do like the idea you only get one character per account. I like, you'd be pinned down. Obviously, there's no, there's no classes in the game, so you basically are free to learn and get good at whatever you can. Like I said, or like you said, the skill points are limited. You can't be good at everything. So one of the things, Bordy, that we should talk about is the first-person view. Not a lot of MMOs take this approach as far as as far as like point of view goes. I think a lot of them are third person. A lot of them are definitely tied to more ability based combat, but this is definitely not the case for Mortal Online. What do you think about the first person directional based combat?
I like it. I like the combat in the game. It's a lot of fun, and the first person view specifically is fine for me. I enjoy it because it's different than other MMOs, man. It's yet another thing that sets Immortal Online apart from other MMOs. And the first person view is fine. I think once you play like that for a little while, you get used to it, and it's one of those things, it's like you get used to playing that way, and there's, it's fine. I personally enjoy it, man. I like it a lot, dude. I know that you may not like it so much. What are your thoughts on it, man?
I think it just depends on how good it is, right? I've played a lot of first-person games that inspire to be, something like Skyrim that don't function as well as Skyrim. Even games like Elder Scrolls Online, where it's made to be or mimic, their first-person view is made to mimic a Skyrim thing, doesn't seem to translate well. So we'll see. I mean, Mortal Online doesn't have a third-person view, so I mean, all of the combat is designed for first-person. So I mean, I would try it for sure. I don't know how much I'd like it being a directional-based, no ability combat. That's not my thing usually. But I'd be open to try it because the visuals look cool, and this is the main reason, dude. Is the next our next topic? Sorry, is the bounty system. So the bounty system is something that really interests me, dude. I love open world PvP. It's one of my favorite things in MMOs. Tell us about the bounty system, Bordy. My gosh.
So this is something new that they're trying to introduce into Mortal Online 2, and this was something that Henrik was talking about in an FAQ he had on Twitch not too long ago. And I don't know if it's fully in the game yet, but this is something they're wanting to add. So like I was reading earlier from the description of the game, it is a full loot PvP MMO, and you can be killed pretty much anywhere, and then your body can be looted wherever you are. So you have to be very careful, but that doesn't come without a punishment. So if someone comes and kills you and you are just an innocent player, you're not tagged as a criminal or anything like that, if they come and kill you, there is a punishment for that. And what they're trying to do with Mortal Online 2, from my understanding, they're trying to create like a bounty system. So like if you're PK'd, you can then go report that PK to like the priest, where you go resurrect that. You can report their name to the priest, and then that then places a bounty on that player's head, and then other players in that same to like a guard or an NPC or something like that, and they can see all of the bounties that are in that area. So you're going to have a lot of people trying to hunt you down, and I think that's awesome. Now the bounty will wear off like after a certain time if nobody finds you or kills you or whatever, but I think that's an amazing system. I love that. So if you can just be a bounty hunter, man, you can spec into all combat skills and just go fight all the time, and I love that, dude. You can just find people and collect bounties. It sounds like a really cool system. I'm not sure when they're adding that, or if it's already in the game, or if it's something they're going to add later, but it looks and sounds amazing, man.
No, I do like how the game kind of considers a warrior or a soldier as a as a craft, or as something you can do as a profession. I think that's cool, like the idea of just putting all my skill points in combat and then being like a sword for hire, or like you said, a bounty hunter. I really think that type of concept in a game is dope, and hopefully they can pull that off, man. The bounty system sounds amazing. All right, so here's if you're interested in Mortal Online 2, here is how you get a hold of it. Now, the game is buy to play with a monthly sub and no cash shop. All future content is free to players who purchase the game. You can currently buy into beta now if you go over to the official website, and eventually once they release it into a, what do they say, a continuous state, meaning, and which is supposed to happen soon, in quotation marks, you can buy it on Steam as well. But currently the game is available to buy on the website. And now they do have a roadmap up on the website, but the roadmap is under construction because they meant to release the game in March, and due to the most recent stress test, which is still up right now, they found some bottlenecks in their performances, and there was login issues. So they did delay the launch, or the soft launch, into a playable state until April. So we should be getting updates soon on official release to Steam, and then of course to a place where once you buy the game, you can play it forever. Bordy, what do you think, man? What is your intake on Mortal Online 2? I know we're both busy. We're trying not to get sucked into anything here, dude. But are you gonna put some time into Mortal Online 2, possibly?
At some point, yes, I will absolutely play it. This game is kind of modeled after Ultima Online, and if you guys have watched this channel for any amount of time, you know that's where my heart is. It's with UO. And so this game, the full loot PvP MMO, is definitely something that I'm interested in and right up my alley. The first one was a lot of fun. There was a lot of things you can do, taming and whatever. Now, let me take a step back here for a second, though, and let you guys know the first one wasn't without its flaws, right? Like, I've been praising Mortal Online a lot, but there was a reason why I didn't play it for now I probably had 1,000 hours in it, but it had a lot of flaws. It had a lot of issues. There were a lot of bugs in there. There were things that just didn't work right. It had a lot of issues in the game, and so ultimately it wasn't as successful as the game could have been. So we're all hoping that Mortal Online 2, we're hoping that the developers have kind of learned a few lessons from Mortal Online and have taken those and applied them to Mortal Online 2. And I think if they have, it'll be really, really good. But I do think I'm gonna play it at some point. I don't know when. Probably, the stress test is only for a few more days. I doubt I hop in there then, but I will at some point give the game a shot. I will squeeze it in somehow, some way. The problem is it's a time sink, man, and I would get sucked in. I can't right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we are a little bit busy with New World fans right now and all things New World as we lead up to launch. But if you're interested in watching the game, our buddy Sir Medieval is streams it on YouTube occasionally. He's in the stress test right now. I know there's some people on Twitch streaming the game as well. So before you buy it, check out a stream, see if it's up your alley, something you're interested in. Because again, you can buy into the beta now even. And dude, I'm excited to see more on the game, how it develops. Obviously, I mean, it seems like there's a lot of potential here, and we all need another good MMO. So hopefully they can pull it off, dude.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. Remember, we release the show Mo to Go every Friday. It is a multiplayer online show. We try to cover multiple games or even just one game like we do here. This is up every Friday at 8 a.m. We also put up content Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Dude, we're nailing them, dude. Every day, Monday through Friday. If you sub to us, dude, you're getting your subs worth for sure. If you enjoy MMOs and stuff like that. So if you don't, then you made it through a video that's about an MMO. I mean, I don't know what you're doing exactly. Maybe you enjoy looking at two bald men talk to each other because,
who wouldn't?
I mean, who wouldn't? Exactly. Two guys in their mid-30s talking about video games, That's the wave. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you in another episode of Mo to Go.